3 more individual events still to come today from the World Gymnastics Championships taking place in Liverpool. Men's pommel horse up next. And Steven Nedorosek, who is the reigning world champion. Last year when he won that world championship on pommel, was the first ever world title for the U.S. in this event at Worlds. So this lineup, just a thought to follow up on what you were talking about earlier, just to make it to the final is an achievement at the World Championships.
Exactly. When we look at this list of athletes that are here right now, this tells us that these handful of athletes are the best in the world in this very moment. That is such a high achievement.
Biggest stage, biggest annual event in gymnastics, and Steven Nedorosek won it last year, trying to go back-to-back. With more on him, here's John.
For Steven Nedorosek, these World Championships have been a tale of 2 routines. The joy of the qualification round and the disappointment of the team finals. I spoke with his coach, Randy Jepson, yesterday, and he said over the last couple of days of training, Steven has been zeroing in on his mental game and also refining the details of his routine. I've also been told that since Steven got here to Liverpool, he's been unbelievably methodical and consistent in training. He's going to have to show that here today. A couple days ago, Steven posted on social media about the team as they were leaving the team finals. He said, "You could see the look of not only regret, but vengeance in each of our eyes." He went on to say, "It's time to show them what Team USA is made of." He'll have that chance today.
John, thanks. And it wasn't obvious. It wasn't like a fall or a glaring. There were things left out in that routine in the team final, which didn't gain him as many points as he normally does. And in the end, you're left feeling as an athlete like, if I would have just done what I can do, we would have made the podium. So coming back in the individual apparatus final, trying to win the gold medal once again. We'll get underway when we continue with the action from Liverpool. Great action from the World Gymnastics Championships all week. It continues over the weekend. We're getting set for the men's pommel horse final. Glad to have you with us. Terry Gannon alongside Lori Hernandez. Great to have her in the booth here. One of the stars from Rio in the Olympics in 2016. And John Roethlisberger, the 4-time U.S. champ, who's competed at the World Championships 6 times. Now he talks for a living, and we've got him there in Liverpool with us as we get set for the 8 finalists in men's pommel horse, including the 23-year-old from Worcester, Mass, Steven Nedorosek. Those glasses, by the way, I love this story. It was kind of a hazing thing. An upperclassman in college, they made him wear, and he really performed great. He said, "I'm going to keep wearing them. They're not real. Like,
they're not prescription glasses." Yeah, he mentioned he started wearing them at a competition, did really well at that competition, and now these glasses are a superstitious event.
And it's a look. There's no doubt.
It's a look.
Great.
He stands out.
A man whose personal record solving Rubik's Cubes, 8.686 seconds.
From what I understand, though, Steven does wear glasses.
Which is not like this on pommel.
These are just not prescription glasses.
Exactly.
But he has mentioned he just needs to feel it. He doesn't need to see it. So I think that's an interesting concept.
Yosuke Doi from Japan. Busy man. We saw him earlier in the floor final and had the lead for a while. But it was Regina Moran of Great Britain winning the gold medal there. So the second event for the men as they continue the warm-ups here in pommel horse. Ron de Mont from the Netherlands qualified in 4th for this final. The European silver medalist on pommel horse this past year. Such a long season. I mean, yes, you take time off at different points in the year, but I mean, does fatigue come into play at this point, especially this week too? You started training, qualifying, team, now individual.
Absolutely, especially when you're waiting around all this time. You know, we had just seen floor finalists, we've now seen women's vault finalists, and we're on pommel. So these athletes have been waiting around all day. Of course, they're stretching and whatnot, but this moment to get warm and to retrain your body, wake up that muscle memory, it's quite exhausting.
Does it affect you where you are in the start list?
Yes, I personally believe so, yes. To come in first, you have to warm up quickly and then take the time to breathe, gather your thoughts, let your body rest for a moment before you get back out there and start competing. Whereas if you're last, you can take more warm-up turns. At that point, you have all the time in the world.
Because we talked about your routine. You said it's pretty set. You got a set routine. Well, it's different if you're first or eighth in the lineup.
Exactly. Yes. And to come in first, you're starting this group off. You're kicking them off. So if athletes in your group are watching you, who are the domino effect, you know?
Nederosik, by the way, will be the fourth up in this pommel horse final. John, you've been close to the athletes and those training them, in charge of them throughout the week. Some thoughts as we get closer to this final getting underway.
Well, personally, pommel horse final is my favorite final. I think there's something about the perfection of pommel horse that is so appealing to watch. But just to get to the athletes, Nederosik has had tremendous training here. We saw him just warm up. The mistake he made in the team competition wasn't a fall from the apparatus. He left out a couple of skills. Actually started 1.3 points lower in his start value. So I don't suspect he's going to make that mistake today. Really, today it's going to come down to all those small errors the athletes make. And to be honest with you, if you're watching at home, a lot of those errors aren't going to be the obvious ones that we can see. They're going to be the little idiosyncrasies that only really the judges can pick up. It's going to be that fine deductions that will make the difference today. It's going to be fun.
Laurent Dumont will be the first man out there to get things going here in the pommel horse final.
He qualified fourth on the pommel horse. So if he can be clean, you never know where he may end up. Let's see if he can get that podium score.
23 years of age, representing the Netherlands. Did not qualify for the final at the World Championships last year.
He was the 2022 European silver medalist on pommel horse, so this is interesting. The more space from their hips to the pommel, the better the execution.
Oh, wow. To the very end, Lori. John, almost, and then no.
I mean, I was watching this routine thinking to myself, this is a marathon routine, and the dismount, it showed exactly that. He just lost a little steam, and I have been there. Trust me, I've been there many times in practice and in competition. You get to the end of a long routine, and it is all just about will. Your arms are burning. You just dig deep to try to get that handstand up. And I got to give him credit. He was going for the win here. He wasn't going to just get on the podium. He was going for gold.
In your mind as an athlete, Lori, I mean, you've done all that work. There's just this much more to go. And it falters.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Exactly what it looks like, this feeling of your heart breaking because you worked so hard to be here. But at the same time, what John had mentioned earlier, and I'd love to cue him back in on this, he did everything he could. He put out the difficulty. He showed up for Worlds. He didn't play it safe, and there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, and really, I mean, visually, the routine was really good. The judges certainly had deductions for things like skew, and that means the athlete has to be perfectly square to the horse when they travel, things like that, but no form breaks really to be noticed. And again, it was going through my head as I watched him go for that last travel near the end of the routine before the dismount, and I thought, my gosh, this is a marathon. Unfortunately, today it didn't pay off.
You know, the other aspect, too, just watching it, the crowd, the noise grew and grew and grew up until that very point.
Yeah, you could hear his teammates, but also just people from all over the country, you know, who are in this group competing in individual finals, cheering for him.
So the number 13.533, the Laurent Dumont from the Netherlands, gets things started in the pommel horse final. Next up, a man who's been awfully busy. We watched him in the floor final. Yosuke Doi, 20 years of age. That's it, from Okayama, Japan. qualified 6th for this final. Visualizing, going through his whole routine, back to back, one side to another.
They say every time you run a mental routine, it's like your body's physically doing it. It's almost like he was getting one more rep in. And he's off.
John, can you pick up what happened there?
Yeah, you know, I used to compete that skill, believe it or not, and his shoulders just got too far outside the plane of the pommel horse. And Lori, you can probably attest to this on balance beam. I think it's very similar. He was on. He was perfect, and then he wasn't. And that is how brutal pommel horse can be.
There does come a point where you tilt off the equipment, and it's this question of, can you save it? Can you? Sometimes you're just off. Got a little leg separation there. John, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's too bad. You know, we've already had 2 routines, 2 falls, but and he looked good. You know, even if he hits and the top guys hit as well as they can, do I think he's going to win gold? No, but the way this pommel horse final has started, certainly he would have given himself a chance for a medal. So too bad for him. Little rough on that scissor sequence. You know, that first scissors to handstand, that is a skill that Asher Hong, for example, does that skill. Took it out because of how strictly it's evaluated. The judges almost always will take at least 3/10 deduction on that skill. The rest of the circles in his travels, very nice extension. His toe point was excellent. This right here, though, the woo, as it's called, after a Chinese gymnast, shoulders just get too far outside of the horse. And I know that exact feeling, actually. Fallen many times on that skill.
You've said that twice now. You brought that up twice now. You had a lot of success, you know. 12.933.
I forgot it.
Yeah, I conveniently forgot. So into second place after 2 and falls on both. But the top 2 qualifiers next, back to back. Rhys McLennan representing Ireland, the 23-year-old and the world bronze medalist on pommel horse from 2019.
Starting off with a difficult sequence. Right on one pommel. Woo. Staying on just one pommel is extremely difficult. He's known as the Prince of Pommel.
And something's just
Had
looked
such
cool.
little space for his hands just then.
Yep. Wow.
Incredible routine for Rhys McLennan.
Absolutely unbelievable routine. You can see the emotion on his face. He knows that this is a title he has wanted for a long time. Fell short at the Olympics in Tokyo, but I watched him in training and qualifications, and I thought, if Steven Nedorosov wants to repeat, he has got a big task ahead of him. They start at a similar position in start value, but Rhys's execution, I have to give him the edge, and you can see it throughout. Maybe a slight hip bend on that scissor to handstand, which would be a deduction, but then look out, he just flies.
saw the exchange between the two as Nedorosek is up next. Shake of the hand, but basically say, good luck after that.
Oh, yeah. But also, you know, watching that sense of pride and relief. I keep saying that because it truly is a sense of relief, this pressure lifted when you do the routine that you have been training for so long and it finally pays off. That was a difficult routine. I had my heart in my throat and in my stomach watching him the entire time.
You're on the edge of your seat every moment, aren't you? As it builds. Sensational. Top qualifier. Nedorosek qualified second. So the top two to get here at least going back to back. But we'll get the number for Reese McLennan in a moment. 7th in Tokyo after that bronze at Worlds in 2019.
Yeah, they both actually scored the same score in the qualifications, Reese McLennan and Steven Nedorosek, but Reese got the tiebreaker. But I tell you what, Steven is going to have to do better today than he did in the qualifications, in my opinion, if he wants to finish on the top again. He got a 15.233. This routine that Reese just did, I think, is better than that number. So Steven obviously had some troubles in the team finals. Hopefully he's gotten those corrected and then some, because I think this is going to have to be the best Steven Nedorosek has ever been.
But do you press? I mean, that you put that pressure on yourself to even be better than what you've done so far.
I'm feeling the pressure through the screen right now. So I can't imagine what Steven's feeling. Also knowing that you have such incredible competitors in your group.
15-3, the number. Reese McLennan from Ireland on top.
Almost a 9.0 execution score. That's wow. Just wow.
Wow, indeed. So it's a high number, the standard that has been set for the American now, trying to go back-to-back. The last American to go back-to-back with gold medals in any event at the World Championships. Kurt Thomas back in '79. Steven Nedorosek trying to do just that.
He stays here on one pommel, very difficult. Little break in momentum there and in the hips. That's a hit routine for Steven Nedorosek.
I tell you what, I was watching the beginning of this routine, and in my head, I was getting the words ready to say, that is the best I've ever seen Steven Nedorosek. And then he got to that one pommel. I'm sure we'll have a chance to look at it again. He had that big hip bend as he went back to the middle, and he lost some difficulty. I hate to say it, but this is not going to be enough to pass Reese McLennan.
And we're seeing some of the difficulty there. When he won that world title last year, it was the first one ever won by the U.S. in this event. And McLennan was absolutely brilliant.
Here's the mistake right here. You see his hip bend, and he goes all the way back to the pommel there. He was supposed to stay on the one pommel, but he went back to the middle. So I believe that is going to lower his start value. Not to mention, the judges take deductions when something looks perfect. If you can see a visible break, they're wearing out their pencil, I'll be honest with you. So that's going to hurt. Again,
you've been there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all have, yeah.
So 15.3 is the number that leads right now. Very high number. No, not going to get there. 14.4 for Steven Nedorosek, the 23-year-old who's second on the leaderboard now. McLennan still leads. and that might hold up. We'll see. So 4 gymnasts to have gone here on pommel horse. We've got 4 more to go, and that will be tough to beat. 2019 was the first medal for Ireland. It was Rhys McLennan who won bronze. If he wins the gold here, it will be Ireland's first.
We're getting lots of firsts in this World Championship
right?
this year. How exciting.
So you got 4 more to go, John.
Yeah, we do. We've got some great athletes yet to come up. And actually, the one I'm really curious to watch is going to be the next gymnast, Kurbanov from Kazakhstan. He has got, even amongst the best people who swing pommel horse, he has got a swing that to me really stands out. I'd like to see if he can put together a clean routine. He's supposed to start, and I say supposed to because as we know, start values change in the middle of a routine. He's supposed to start at the same start value as Rhys McLennan. So if he can just be a little cleaner, do those little things throughout his routine. We're talking about this is going to be decided if he hits. It'll be decided by less than a 10th, but he's one that could do it. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
You know how close it is as a competitor, but you expect that at the World Championships. You expect your competitors to be excellent.
You do, and we hear this a lot, but every 10th matters of leg separation, a hop on the landing, a wobble if you're on beam, or a hip break on pommels. Those things really do add up, and when it comes to such a close score, you don't want to give up a mistake like that, especially on such a high platform like World Championships.
Dinyan would be the last to go from Armenia. So last warm-up right now underway before the final 4 are set. Just the number, John, not just the performance, but that number. If you're a competitor right now, one of the last 4 looking up at 15-3, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm doing what Lori said earlier, is I'm not looking. I'm not. And as we talk about in gymnastics all the time, there is no defense. There's nothing you can do to affect the other athlete. All you have is your gymnastics and doing it as well as you can. And Chelsea Memel, really, she's been saying it all week, do your normal. And it sounds boring. Media doesn't like to hear that, right? We want to hear, I'm going to go, kick tail and win this meet. But that's the truth about gymnastics. You got to just be who you are, be the best version of you if you want to give yourself a chance.
In sports where there is no tackling or defending, like a basketball guard, I mean, that's all you can do, the process and take care of your own business that you came to do.
And when you're competing and you're giving all this energy to yourself, not paying attention to what other people are doing, that's a lot of times when we see the best performances.
Nariman Kurbanov, as John mentioned, the 24-year-old from Kazakhstan. He'll be the first of the 4 left. He qualified in 3rd.
His long lines and legs were practically built for pommel horse. Right there. Bent legs, leg separation.
Not perfect, John.
Oh, that was a heartbreaking mistake. And you guys can see what I was talking about. His swing, he's got such great amplitude, and his body type is so built for pommel horse. Those long, lean legs, and it just looks so good on the apparatus. But again, I told you it had to be visually perfect. Not that it would get a perfect score, but a break like that with the bent legs, hitting the horse, spreading your legs apart. That's gonna be the difference. Unfortunately, now the way pommel horse finals is going, I wouldn't count him out for a medal yet because everybody seems to be making mistakes. But unfortunately, the gold's not going to happen.
3rd place right now is 13.533. Demont just behind Nedarazic. McLennan leads it with that number of 15.3. Lori, once you start, there's no turning back.
Oh, yeah. There is no turning back. As soon as you salute those judges and you touch the equipment, it's game time. A lot of times my body would just take over.
Oh, he's ahead of Nedorozic, 14-5-3-3. So into second place, Kurbanov from Kazakhstan. As McLennan still leads. Nobody has challenged that number yet.
So Reese do a little sigh of relief there. So I'm still in first.
Ahmed Abu Al-Soud, 27-year-old from Jordan on pommel now. Qualified in 8th.
That 360 on one hand is very difficult.
Crowd loves it. He loves it. Well, the judges love it.
The coaches love it.
Does John love it?
I love it. That was amazing. That was absolutely the opportunity this man has been waiting for. You look back at the history of his gymnastics, clearly a good pommel horse worker, but his first experiences internationally were not good. Finished in the hundreds on this event, but slowly and methodically has worked his way up and given himself a chance here at the Worlds, and now taking advantage maybe of some of the medal favorites, and right now that looks to me like a medal performance. I don't know that it's going to be good enough to overtake Reese. I don't think it will be, but he's going to be right in there for silver or bronze. Outstanding.
27-year-old in his 4th appearance at the World Championships and the first time that he has qualified for a final. Look at his coaches before it was even done.
Oh. The coaches always know. You could be midair and the coach is like, oh no. Or they're like, oh yeah.
Right.
I love watching their reactions.
No athlete from Jordan has ever made the podium at the World Gymnastics Championships. Ahmed Abu Al-Soud could be the first. Look at this, 14.866 into second place. And you've got 2 gymnasts left, John.
Yeah, Philippe Udoy is going to be the next man up, and he is similar to Ossenberger from France on floor. He has the lowest start value in this final, so he's the guy that's going to have to be uber perfect. Just starts at a 15.8, and so to only lose a point on an event, especially pommel horse, is very unusual. So again, he's going to have to be as good as he's ever been to get on the podium, in my opinion.
36 years old, the first Croatian gymnast to win an Olympic medal, a silver in 2008.
Was a leg separation there. Happened right as I was about to say his feet are glued together. Oh.
Not quite at the end. Three-time Olympian, 2008, 2012, 2016. Veteran right to the very end, couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to kill his medal chances. And you saw the break in the middle. Honestly, that was a heck of a save when he was in between those pommels, just to stay on the pommel horse. I wanted to say yeehaw. He was swinging so fast. That was an amazing save. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it together there at the end.
Yeehaw.
Quite a career, though.
They always say yeehaw, but they never ask, Oh, yeah.
That's a new one. I'm going to write that down.
Thank you so much. I stole it from Twitter.
World
I'm
silver.
taking notes as we
Yeah,
speak.
exactly, Jack.
I can feel this guy. I can feel this guy's bones as he's up there swinging. You know, I was around the sport for a long time. I don't want to say how old I was, but it's hard to keep at a high level in this sport for as long as Philippe has, and already been to 3 Olympics. I assume he's going to try for a 4th. So pretty amazing to be able to keep this level of gymnastics over that span of time, certainly.
I'm really quite glad you mentioned that, actually, because with time, we know that the code of points is constantly changing, and skills are getting more and more difficult as the generations come by. So to bring a lot of kudos to those who have previously been to Olympic Games or previously been to World Championships and are still sticking around for these code of points to change. You know, not only are the skills changing, but these athletes are changing with that.
Well, he's won silver at the big events. He said, I want to stick around until I win gold at one of the major events. Not going to get there today. 12-5, the number. And we have one gymnast left. McLennan still with the lead. Yeah, both medalists right there. Haruchin Erdinyan from Armenia, a 38-year-old. So you got veterans here, a 36-year-old, a 38-year-old. He qualified 5th. He was 8th in this event last year at Worlds. He's won a bronze medal.
That's a good sign.
This is absolutely an incredible performance. And I know the million-dollar question is, was that good enough to take over the gold medal spot? And I'll tell you what, it should not be good enough. He didn't have the extension to me and the execution that McLennan did from Ireland. However, it's like going in to the ice cream shop. I love mint chocolate chip. Somebody else likes vanilla. And if you let the judges decide what flavor ice cream they like best, they might pick the flavor you don't agree with. And that might be the situation we're in. But I really do think he had enough of an execution difference that he'll probably drop in that second spot.
That was my follow-up question, but you do think he'll make it to the podium. It seemed like a podium routine.
Yeah, I gotta say, I had no idea where that analogy was going, but that was extremely helpful in discovering where this routine places amongst everybody else.
15 points.
You just gotta hang in there with me for a while.
15.3 is the number, the top number. That second spot's 14.866, and then you're wanting at least that third spot to be on the podium. 14.533 is that third number. That's going to get there to the podium at least. 14.733. It's a bronze. Erdinyan for Armenia will make it to the podium. How about Ahmed Abu Al-Soud from Jordan? Their first medal at the World Championships, a silver. And Maurice McLennan from Ireland, the first gold for Ireland in this event at Worlds.
I'll tell you what's amazing. To tell you what's amazing about this final is look at the countries on the podium. We see so much about Japan and China and Britain and the United States, especially on the men's side. We have Ireland, Jordan, and Armenia, and Kazakhstan are the top 4 countries on pommel horse, which I think is really a testament to how vast and broad the sport is spreading throughout the world. Pretty amazing.
It is amazing. 0.2 of a point is what separated third from fourth. Erdinyan and Kurbanov. And so that man will celebrate with a silver medal. Ahmed Abu Al-Soud.
And it's like, from anyone who's watching right now, you get to just watch this moment happen. You get to watch it unfold and recognize that doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, you have the capabilities to do anything. And we see that by all the color we see on stage.
And no matter where you qualified, whether it's 8th or 1st to get to the final. Mardinian at the age of 38. It's a bronze medal. They won a world bronze on pommel back in 2015. Makes it there again. But it's Ireland celebrating with the gold medal. Rhys McLennan, the 23-year-old who won the bronze in 2019. It was Ireland's first, now the first gold. Ahmed Abu Al-Soud from Jordan, the silver. Mardinian from Armenia, the bronze. Much more to come as the World Championships continue from Liverpool. Football final. Right now, though, it's all about the World Gymnastics Championships and 3 events in the books today, 2 more to come. How about the finish here? Men's pommel horse, Rhys McLennan from Ireland. John, he was so impressive.
Yeah, no question he was the best. And to Rhys, this is a long time coming. This is something that this young man has wanted. He's been passionate about it. It's a dream of his. It's great to see him happen. Keep in mind, this is a guy that trained in his backyard garden on a pommel horse because he couldn't find a place to train not all that long ago, and here he is, the world champ.
We're all going to be building pommel horse in our backyards to practice from this point forward.
Yeah, I will build us one. We can do it.
I'm going to hold you to that. I'll come over and practice in the backyard. How about Steven Nedorozic, John, and what you saw from him?
Yeah, Steven is an opportunity lost, honestly. You know, he had a break, and he knows it. Unfortunate for him, but I think today was Rhys's day. If he had hit really well, if he had hit perfect, he would have been right there, but I don't know if he could have got that gold medal spot. It was a pretty special day for Rhys, but Steven, we'll see him again. He's a special young man in himself.
Tall order to get to that.
And winner of the bronze medal, representing Armenia, Harutian Mardinian. In second place, and winner of the silver medal, representing Jordan, Ahmed Abu Al-Soud. And in first place, winner of the gold medal and world champion, representing